So at the end of today, one of these squads will finally have a W. Let's say hello to our blue squad.
SK Gaming, Javi Catorze, the head-to-head star, Morton and Sam, the longtime 2v2 duo for SK Gaming, and the CCGS World Champion Sergio Ramos, a powerhouse roster that needs to right the ship and right it quickly. SK Gaming has put a ton behind this squad, and they know that they are capable of greatness. The question is, can they put it together today against Team Queso?
Yeah, Team Queso with their all-star squad as well. Coming out for red today, we have got the cheesy ones. You know them, you love them. They've been with us since day one. Benihoo and Kuchiku with their new addition of IMJP, and of course their sophomore sensation, Ruben, who came out last season and really kind of started to build a name for himself on this competitive scene. We haven't seen IMJP play any head-to-head yet, which I'm very excited for. I'm wondering if that'll happen today or not. But yeah, Team Queso also struggling in that 2v2 set against AC and RF. And then again, like you said, Lapacati taking down Ruben in the 1v1. So I'm curious if there'll be an adjustment with Team Queso or if they're just going to stick with what they had and they thought they had a bad day.
Who knows? Team Queso has always been known to switch things up. And wow, here we go. Big changes on both sides. It's Javi Catorze and OP Sam as the 2v2 duo for SK. Ruben joining Kuchiku in the 2v2 for Queso.
Yeah, no, I'm going to need to get a check from the booth. Guys, is this the right graphic? I don't know if this is the right graphic. That's Javi Catorze in the 2v2. I'm shook. I mean, he played. Go ahead.
I mean, you almost expect if you put Javi and Sergio, who have so many hours playing together as the practice partners for Sam and Morton.
Yes.
So this isn't just a change, it's a massive change going with Javi and Sam as the 2v2 duo.
So here we go. Kuchi and Ruben, top of your screen from Team Queso. Bottom of your screen, Javi Catorze and OP Sam. And you know, Sam and Morton moved in together for this season to work on their 2v2. But now I imagine it's going to be Morton in the 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most likely option. And here we go, healthy Pekka with who is behind. On the top for Team Queso. Trying to see if they can get that Big Mama Pekka to tower. Poison trying to make a little bit of room. Not going to happen. Whoa, that
Pekka's going to get a swing.
Will it be enough?
Oh, the zap comes in last second to stop that Big Mama swing coming through.
First minute away, and so far it's been the pressure by Team Queso, giving a slight lead, 21-26 on the right-hand side.
So Javi's played 92 head-to-head games. He's played 17 2v2 games.
And a little bit here and there, of course, some in that first season, but he was mostly a 1v1 player. Most of that came in the spring with Fnatic.
Yeah, and then of course they had those couple matches last season when SK they did it more for fun because it felt like they had things locked down.
Prince catches the Lumberjack left-hand side. 10 now going to 12 Elixir for Team Queso at the moment, and very similar on the SK Gaming side. As we pass the midway point of regulation, it is now pretty close, 2086 top left-hand corner, 1958 bottom right-hand side.
So here we go, Team Queso loading up on the backside here, probably starting to try to build this big downhill push behind the Mega Knight.
Ruben actually has the best win rate in 2v2 of all four players in this set. 8-4 in games last season for a 67 win rate, 3-2 overall in sets.
Yeah, Ruben really showing that he was kind of great all the way across the board, but I think the thing with him is we really need to find his specialty, and I think if he wants to become a 2v2 specialist with King of the Hill being on the back end, I really support that, because I really love what he does in 2v2.
Ram Rider left-hand side, Pekka way up in front. Prince and Musketeer to try to meet, and a nice lightning does not get the Musketeer off the board, though.
Yeah, that's a bit of a miss there on that, missing the Musketeer. You get the stop charge on the Prince, you get a little Princess Tower damage in, but you really want to take that Musketeer off the board. As you can see, she's very healthy and now a part of this counter push.
And Bats being tanked for here. Archer's not looking at those for a while, so good damage in both lanes for SK Gaming. As we approach double Elixir time, they have roared back into the lead.
Yeah, they're doing a great job at keeping up dual lane and cheap but effective onslaughts offensively, whether it's Minor Bats, Minor plus Spear Goblins, Minor Bats plus the Wall Breakers. They're cheap, but they're doing the work.
A lot of heavy, a lot of tank killing in the deck here of Team Queso. Mama, P.E.K.K.A, Mega Knight, and Lumberjack, of course, can rip stuff down. We'll see. This might be a connection if they can get past this Goblin Cage on the left-hand side. That's a raged up Ram Rider. Beautiful defense by SK.
Yeah, they needed just a little bit more to send in on that. P.E.K.K.A does not connect once again on the bottom right-hand side. So talk about beautiful defense. Their timing is so on point right now.
Miner picked up by the Mega Knight in the back, still a significant amount of damage. Mega Knight, though, not going to be distracted here, and that's a lot of wall breakers all going into one big chunk of defense.
Yeah, this could be a lot of trouble for Javi and Sam. That was a lot of elixir spent on basically nothing, so now they're going to have to poison it on defense, drop that Royal Recruit up high, and still deal with a very healthy Mega Knight.
And they are up to the task, but keep an eye out, Andrew. They are significantly behind on elixir.
He was high. Dark Prince turns around. They know they need to stop all those 4 units on the top. 652 to 1592.
And notice only one big spell offensively in the hand of SK Gaming in the form of the poison. So it's going to be harder for them to play in a spell cycle situation if necessary. Final 30 seconds. This is the big moment for Team Queso. Can they steal this one back with just 25 left?
I don't know how I feel about that miner going the left-hand side. We'll see if it actually ends up paying off here. It does bait out a bit of elixir, so now they can send the miner into the right. Now, maybe able to get a poison down, or are they going to hold?
We'll see if they can. They're going to hold on. Mega Knight, E-Wiz, Ram Rider trying to break through. Poison does come down just to make a little bit more distance. Lightning trying to do enough, but can't do it. And that's going to be game number 1 for SK. The switch-up works. Sam and Javi take their first win as a pair.
I like that, and I like what we saw. That was a great back and forth at one. So, yes, Javi and Sam maybe haven't practiced together as much, but maybe that idea of the mentality of, look, these are the 8 cards available. This is the best response. You've got to play it. Maybe covers that language barrier and also maybe covers that amount of practice time together that Sam and Morton have had.
Yeah, keep in mind that Kuchi and Ruben are sitting next to each other at the Team Queso house. As far as I know, Javi has not joined Sam and Morton in Germany. I could be wrong, but they're playing with a little bit of latency, playing a distance from each other. So maybe some drag to signal as well is being used here.
Yeah, drag signaling in 2v2 very, very important.
This is a big push left hand.
Yeah, and Lumberjack sneaks up in front, which is not what Javi and Sam wanted. Now everything's gonna get raged up.
Balloon does not connect, but death damage will get in left-hand side. 22:06 as the first minute 10 passes.
Really nice fireball value there. Archer helps clean everything up for 100% mitigated damage. Kuchi and Ruben in a good spot. Down by just a couple elixir, though.
So minor wall breakers for SK Gaming. And these wall breakers not going to connect. Arrow's doing a good job with that.
So Javi and Sam having just a little bit of an elixir lead. We'll see if they put something big in the back or if they decide to wait on their opponents.
So Miner trying to hold that Mega Minion in the back. You see Zap now out. Here is when and how do Javi and Sam take advantage of those small spells being out of cycle.
And you see here, Kuchi and Ruben have a lot of great responses to those wall breakers coming through, whether it's the skeletons, the zap, the arrows, the heal spirit, or of course that Mega Knight dropping down on top and getting a good counter push.
Lumberjack goes for the pickup up front. Instead, Miner goes to the back, and that's a double connection left-hand side.
And that's when you try to get a little too cheeky, right? Instead of just doing what they should have, they try to go skeletons instead, save a little bit of elixir, hope the Lumberjack got back around, and the Ice Wind would do just enough slowing, but not the case. Big-time connection.
Final 30 seconds of regulation. It is SK Gaming ahead by a few hundred HP in both lanes.
Wow, Musketeer connects top right for 3 shots.
Kuchi and Ruben setting up on the right-hand side. Inferno Dragon and Mega Knight. And have to find somebody to deal with this Prince Wallbreaker push on the left-hand side. Arrows will be sufficient.
Arrows plus that great skeletons to eat up that charge from the Prince. Lumberjack comes in and makes easy work.
Miner goes right to the Musketeer, and the freeze is in. This is a big moment for Team Queso.
Yeah, Royal Delivery down. E-Wiz down as well. So much stunning on the board.
Wallbreaker barely misses connecting, but now it's Sam and Javi having to do a little bit of kiting here to keep that Inferno Dragon from connecting. Final minute 30 approaching, and it feels like Team Queso is starting to get a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah, Team Queso here coming back just a bit, closing that gap, narrowing it if you will, but SK trying to keep their lead with that poison coming in. Another big push on the right-hand side. You have to expect a Miner, you have to expect a Freeze. How are they going to defend?
Miner gets in, Freeze takes care of the Musketeer. This balloon looks like it will connect. Ewiz comes in late.
It's late, and the balloon gets just the one drop with the zap coming in. Wow, now Team Queso in the lead.
Miner to the back on the right-hand side, Wallbreaker's left. Skeletons should be enough. What does not connect.
Big time Wallbreaker connection on the right-hand side. There's the poison. Miner hit, not going to connect. They need that zap. Where's the zap? There.
Head-to-head play in CRL West. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. The golden-haired golden boy from Barcelona, Spain, top of your screen. And Morten down at the bottom. Morten, of course, having one of the top lifetime win rates in head-to-head play in CRL. Career 65% in CRL head-to-head 1v1 and King of the Hill play.
Yeah, and, you know, getting close to 1.5 million cards won. Loses by 1 HP at World Finals, and you know he wants this.
So slow playing to start things out. R-barrel cycle for JP, who took some time away from the West, went and played with Kicks in CRL Asia last fall. Had a pretty good time over there, some pretty solid performances, especially later in the season. Happy to be back with this all-Spanish squad, though.
Yeah, I'm happy to have him back in the West. I'm happy to be back casting his matches, and I'm also happy that you said golden hair, golden boy, because I wasn't going to say it until you did. Because I know you coined that years ago, and I just couldn't do that to you.
It is pretty special to my heart, gotta admit. Dark Prince comes across, and Dark Prince Baby Dragon to say bye-bye to the Night Witch. Is JP going to double down on this one? Still at the bridge in the safe spot. And there you go, Graveyard in.
You call it, and I think that Morten had a feeling it was coming. He plays those skeletons early, but I wish he would have played the skeletons a little farther back because they get eaten up by that Baby Dragon Splash. And a ton of damage comes in, but a very high poison here to help clean up the counter push coming from Morten. JP comes out with a huge Haymaker to start this game.
And Haymaker's a great term, Andrew. We talked about this back in the CRL EU days. JP is a big hit player. There are certain players who go for big moments and are pressure guys, go for the kill, and JP is a go for the kill kind of guy. He's going to get this tower down. The big question now is, how does he defend this massive golem push that's going to come on the left-hand side?
I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure that Dark Prince came down at the exact same second as the golem, so I don't think he was even going in for the kill yet. But the Dark Prince, I think he was doubling down on that Ice Wiz push as you were talking about how aggressive he can get, and now has a lot to deal with in this left-hand lane. Not sure if he's going to be able to, though. I think that Dark Prince might have been a bit of an overcommit.
2 Princes on the board. That's going to be the really hard part here. 2 Baby Dragons trying to defend. This is going to be tower down, left-hand side, and still has more to clean up.
Yeah, and he needs to drop more elixir into it. You see right there, the bar barrel comes down. Now going to tank for those Baby Dragons just a little bit. Morten does the correct thing. He resets towards his Princess Tower and is ready to keep going on offense.
I mean, at this stage in the game, we're in double elixir, we're in a 2-tower game, and you talk about who has the advantage once the King Tower is alive. Well, Golem certainly has a pretty significant advantage over Graveyard, so it's going to be tough going here for JP in the remaining 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what I was saying earlier. I think that Dark Prince came down at the exact same second as the Golem and obviously gave him that right-hand tower, but it's 4 less elixir to defend, and he really needed some help on the defensive side, so much so that Morten was able to drop that Lightning in to just kind of close things out.
And Lightning with a little bit more clearage on the offense for Morten. And still, he has so much on the board, way ahead on elixir, just a Baby Dragon down for JP. This is just an absolute shellacking here. This might be a 3-crown.
And that pullback, that NATO actually pulled the Prince far enough back to get a charge in because it got tanked for by the Golemites again. So JP doing absolutely everything he can to mitigate damage, but almost helping his opponent out in moments when he doesn't mean to.
Golem down one more time for Morten.
And that hurts, man. It really does. When you're just hurting for Elixir and you see your opponent drop another golem in the same lane that he's been going towards, and you have not done basically anything that resembles offense in overtime.
Baby Dragon gone. Night Witch, Prince, Baby Dragon behind the golem here for Morten. He is pushing hard for this 3 crown. Not taking his foot off the gas at all. This is the right thing to do. A second Night Witch down. Final 30 seconds.
Right, because what's the worst case scenario here, man, is that he ends up winning the draw. He takes the 3 crown because they need it. SK needs as many crowns as they can get, and Morten has the correct idea, but I don't think he's going to be able to get there with only 20 seconds left.
Lightning trying to make a little bit more room. Maybe he goes in with the Prince here. Does have to defend this graveyard. Wow, and a nice attempt here from JP.
Yeah, nice attempt from JP. Morten read him like a book, though. He drops that Prince right on top of the Dark Prince. JP gets a little bit of damage there in the end and makes it closer than it seemed throughout, but Morten takes game number 1.
Man, that could have gone game number 2. Morten with 1 in hand. Match point for SK, a potential 4-game sweep.
Yeah, very, very quick one here to get to 3 blue crowns on the left side of your screen.
And Morten maybe going something spammy here with the Royal Ghost. 3M, okay. So maybe a 3M Royal Hogs. And if I was going to say, if there's one thing that you might want to put Morten on, it'd be piggies.
Yeah, and it looks like here JP could be running Ice Bow, so this could be a lot of trouble. Morten already calls good game, and he knows why. And we both know why as well, Rich. He does not have a big spell to take the Ice Bow, or excuse me, the X-Bow and the Tesla off the board regularly.
He's going in hard, but the Tesla, of course, will pick up those piggies. And a nice log, though. This is a little bit of a battle here. This overall should be for JP, but Morten able to take advantage early. If he can get enough of an advantage early on, he might be able to steal this one.
Yeah, this is still really, really tough, and I love the log coming in from Morten there to create a little bit of room. JP, though, responds with a log in kind, takes the Musketeer off the board, and that was Morten's chance to bring that tower well below 1,000 HP.
Royal Ghost cycles to the right-hand lane. First 90 seconds passed.
This is going to be
and
a
JP set
very
up the first defensive expo.
Tough couple minutes here for Morten. Maybe a late Tesla now? Oh,
not going to worry about it. He's dealt with pretty well.
Yeah. A little bit of splash, though, coming in here from the Hunter, and now log out of cycle. Morten going to do whatever he can to take advantage of that, but not going to be a lot.
Yeah, this is the phase in the game, and now as the deeper we get towards triple elixir, the harder it's going to get on Morten's side. So he needs to take advantages of this next 2 minutes the best that he can, and hope he can create enough of a lead that the rocket cycle can't take it back.
Yeah, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to keep up enough pressure and play these interactions well enough and stop counter pushes so that his opponent does not get a big enough elixir lead to play these buildings comfortably and start rocket cycling out.
You know, Andrew, the big question for me is at what point are we going to see Ice Bow versus Ice Bow? It feels like it has to happen at some stage.
I can't wait for that matchup.
So, easy NATO rocket for JP to clean up the 3 Musketeers, and should see something like that happen consistently. The big question for JP in terms of taking advantage is, will he ever be able to NATO without the rocket for those 3M and take care of them a little bit more cheaply? We'll see if this might be an example here.
Yeah, he's trying to do it. You know that he needs to get at least 2 rockets down to take that lead, so now he's going to start getting much more creative in how he wants to defend these, and there it is. There's the first rocket cycle coming down. He does min-max it and take a couple shots on the left-hand side, but that's exactly the right idea here for IMJP.
And there you go, the high 3 Musketeers trying to get that Tesla off the board and maybe bait out the rocket before so the piggies can go in, and there you go, piggies behind. Will there be enough on defense?
Not enough elixir to get that rocket down, so really, really nicely played that by Morten. That heal spirit comes in, Rich. That's going to do it. That is going to do it.